Hello, welcome to Wake Up with the Economist at CES 2018. I'm Kenneth Cukier from The Economist, and I'm here with Roxy Young, the Vice President of Marketing for Reddit. Hello, Roxy.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
It stopped raining.
It did. The one CES where we thought it was biblical with the floods. Yeah, but not anymore, the sun is shining. A dove came by my window with an olive branch. Exactly.
That kind of day.
It's a good augur. So Reddit.
Yes.
Reddit is the front page of the internet. Why do you need to market, and what are you marketing?
So Reddit is one of the top 10 most visited sites in the United States. Opportunity to continue to help Reddit grow is phenomenal. The mission of Reddit is to create community and belonging for everyone, and we have a long way to go in delivering that mission. We need to make Reddit a daily destination for more people, and we're doing a fantastic job in some categories and have an opportunity to continue to expand that for many more categories.
So how do you market Reddit? I'm mystified by this because I think a lot of people would be like,
yeah,
you've got one of the premier brands on the internet, and everyone already goes to it. So what do you do?
Actually, you would be surprised. One of the first things that I did when I stepped into the role at Reddit was to try and better understand what is our aided awareness. Are we relevant? And if so, for which audiences? And what's our reputation across a wide variety of consumers? And so with that information, we were actually better able to identify where are we over-indexed, where are we under-indexed, where are our growth opportunities from an audience perspective, and we'll use that to actually shape how we decide to market Reddit.
I've got to ask. Okay. So where do you under-index, and what are you going to do?
So right now, we are under-indexed in some areas, particularly around females. And so making Reddit a daily destination for more people and delivering on our mission means that we need to have all kinds of people on Reddit finding their passions and their interests in vibrant communities and conversations around that. And so that's one area in particular where the data was pretty revealing, and now we can actually go and develop marketing programs around that.
Can you explain one of the marketing programs that you have that would appeal to women that won't disenfranchise the men who are coming?
No, absolutely. So Reddit recently has launched a number of media partnerships with the Washington Post and with Time, and those partners have given us an opportunity to bring new and interesting content that appeals more universally to people. And so that's just one example of developing more interesting content for a broader set of consumers.
Okay, and it's working.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. So how do you sell this vision of marketing Reddit internally to the bosses and to the peers?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, what we have tried to do in the time that I've been at Reddit is to understand, okay, before somebody comes to Reddit, either the site or the app, what's happening outside? So do people know about us? Do they perceive us to be relevant? And what is the sentiment around our brand? And so through that data, we can basically mathematically say, here's our reach, here's the percentage of people who believe that we're a relevant product for them, and we can actually arrive at this is how our MAU is actually being influenced by the impressions out there in the marketplace. That's monthly active unique visitors.
So who's your competitor? Is it like Zen meditation and yoga practice?
No, I mean, I think in this day and age, everybody is competing for consumers' time, and consumers can choose to spend their time doing all kinds of different things. They could be, checking sports. They could be checking the news. They could be, checking the weather. And so ultimately, we want Reddit to be part of a consumer's daily habit, and we're competing for their time, just like many other things.
There seems like there's a paradox and even maybe a sort of an inconsistency at the heart of marketing Reddit. because marketing is about creating a story around a product that would be communicating to the users, but Reddit is entirely about user-driven content and authenticity.
Absolutely.
So how do you square that circle?
So one of the fun facts about Reddit is that we actually haven't paid any money to market Reddit. Reddit creates content, and that content is then proliferated and spreads organically. And so we have tons of earned media that lands in places where people may be consuming information and find interesting, contextually relevant things about Reddit.
Give me an example.
So for example, I could be reading about beauty products, and I'm super curious to know, can I walk into a drugstore and get the most amazing mascara that's far less expensive than if I go into a department store? And some of those articles will source phenomenal information from Reddit beauty communities, highlighting, the 10 different mascaras that they've tried, and the community validating that this is an amazing product. And so those are just a few of the examples of how Reddit proliferates, and consumers will find it.
Is this ability to market your product without actually paying for it, because the product is what you market, unique, for so to speak, unique to Reddit, or is there a broader lesson that can be learned for other products, whether you're Unilever or Nissan or Deloitte?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely some elements that are unique to Reddit, given that Reddit is over 50,000 active communities a month that are engaged in conversations around passions and interests, and so that lends itself to lots of content being created. But almost every brand right now, they need to realize that conversations are happening about their brand beyond just with their advertising and putting out in the market. People may be talking about their brand in other places, and so social listening tools have become key to marketers understanding what's happening with their brand beyond just what they're actually taking to market.
So how do you use social listening?
So for Reddit, we actually have a team of people who are constantly monitoring how our impressions are being proliferated out there and what's happening. No, it's a relatively small team, but using data and using tools, you can actually create huge leverage without having to have dozens and dozens of people.
Okay, well, I ask only because I think a lot of people would wonder if it's good enough for the top 10, one of the top 10 sites of the internet. I mean, is it 30 people or is it 6? But maybe that's a trade secret.
Absolutely.
Okay. In a quick email exchange that we had prior to this interview, you used the term adversation.
I did,
and I confess, I have no idea what that means.
I think it's because it's a term that we've been talking about internally, and so the concept of adversation was one where we were talking with the team about, hey, when we talk with advertisers, when we talk with partners about coming to Reddit and being part of Reddit, what does that mean? And so one of the terms that we landed on was, like adversation. It's the opportunity for you to use a native ad unit on Reddit, the home of conversation online, to start a conversation with an audience that's relevant for you. And so today's consumers, they don't want to be talked to, they want to be engaged with. And so adversation is the idea that you can use advertising to start a conversation that then lends itself to your brand becoming more authentic in the mind of that consumer, and you can start to grow your brand against attributes that are important to you.
That's really interesting. Roxy, thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. You've been watching Listen to the Economist at CES 2018. I've been speaking with Roxy Young of Reddit, and I'm Kenneth Cukier of The Economist. Thanks a lot.